Hey guys, so we got this Legends Management Team newsletter here. This came out early this morning, but unfortunately I was out of town for the day, but I just got back, so literally the second I walked in the door I'm making this video to try and get this updated and out for you guys so that you guys can be informed. And I've already read this whole thing myself, but I'm going to go through here section by section so that I can give my thoughts and opinions about what all of this stuff is looking like. And a lot of it's good, some of it is weird. We'll go through this though. So thanks for your continued support of Legends. This time the newest information, adjustments, and updates comes to you in the form of this Legends Management Team newsletter. Be sure to read until the end. So Zenkai Awakening Summon Update is the main focus of this newsletter, apparently, because it's obviously the biggest part of this newsletter. So for characters whose Zenkai Awakenings are newly released from 7/1/2020 and onward, the amount of Awakening Z power that drops in your designated Zenkai Awakening summons will be adjusted to make it easier to raise Awakening ranks. Characters' Zenkai Awakening conditions will not change, but the amount of Chrono Crystals required for climbing the Awakening ranks will be greatly reduced. Please note that Zenkai Awakening summons released up until now are planned to remain unchanged until November 2020. The revisions are estimated to be applied from November 2020 for previous Zenkai Awakening summons. Thank you for your understanding. So this part makes zero sense to me. The fact that they tell us this, it basically screws them over, honestly. Please note that the Zenkai Awakening summons released up until now are planned to remain unchanged until November 2020. So what that means... Actually, you know what? We'll read the rest and we'll come back to this because this makes zero sense. Okay, so here's the changes, right? So up until now, this is the system we have. No single summon, 300 crystal consecutive summon. Here are the rates for the Awakening power, and then there's no freebie. Now, moving forward, the Zenkais that released after 7/1/2020 will look like this. 100 crystals for a single, 1,000 for a multi. That's basically the same as any banner. But then the Awakening Z power summon rates are like, it's like night and day. Look at this. The lowest amount you can get is 70. That was previously the highest amount you can get at 1%. That's like pulling a specific sparking unit. You can get up to 1,500. But it's so rare that it's never going to happen, right? I don't know. This is just, it's crazy. Because now, I think the average is going to be like 6,000 to 7,000 crystals to Zenkai 7 a unit from nothing, which is insane. And then you also get an extra 100 Awakening power for doing a multi, just because it's a freebie here. And then obviously you didn't get any prior to doing it. It's just a little bit of incentive to do a multi, right, instead of a single summon. Characters that require a Zenkai Awakening from 7/1/2020 onward will no longer get Zenkai Awakening missions after this update. Characters with Zenkai Awakenings before these changes will still retain their respective missions. So this is a big point of controversy that I've seen a lot of people talking about. Without the missions, you can't get a free-to-play Zenkai level 1 character, which I definitely understand. People are upset about that, and I agree with them. I don't really know the reasoning behind removing the missions, because that was the way for free-to-play players to get, the buff from Zenkai 0 to Zenkai level 1, which is honestly probably the biggest upgrade in power level. There will be no changes to event characters Zenkai Awakening summons. So that's just like Kigoku and Trunks, they're not going to change. In addition, as of the next update in 7/1/2020, the highly requested Super Saiyan Trunks team will finally be Zenkai Awakened. He'll gain additional defensive capabilities as well as offensive bonuses against Lineage of Evil and Frieza Force. Awaken him as an indispensable character to buy any Hybrid Saiyan party. Yes, great. You released the red Zenkai unit when the best unit in the game's history is blue. Thank you. This guy should have been like the first Zenkai Awakenable character. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Legends. So this part right here, this is the part that's like super like question mark to me. They say that, so basically all the Zenkai characters that have released up until now, so like Beerus, Cooler, etc., 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 they're not going to be changed. And then they say until November 2020. And then it says the revisions are estimated to be applied from November 2020 for previous Zenkai Awakening summons. So what that means to me, how I'm interpreting that, is from November 2020 onward, all the old Zenkai Awakening characters are going to go from this to this. So why would anybody, up until November, so we're talking 5 months from now, in these 5 months, why would anybody summon for old Zenkai characters? It's going to take you 3 times the amount of crystals to Zenkai 7 them if you do it now, as opposed to if you just waited until November. So I have no idea why they told us this. They're screwing themselves by doing this. And because I was even planning on maybe, now that they announced this, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll Zenkai 7 every unit moving forward. But it's like, okay, wait a minute. If it's going to cost me 3 times the amount of crystals to Zenkai Awaken someone like Goku or Gohan, then I'm just going to wait until November. And then I'm going to be able to save all of these crystals by being able to take advantage of the new system for the old characters. And another thing I don't understand is why are they waiting until November to do this? Like, if all the new characters moving forward from a week from now are going to require this new method, why can't they just apply this to the old characters as well? It makes no sense at all. I have no idea. It's completely baffling to me. It makes 0 sense. So, thank you for understanding. Yeah, thanks, because I don't understand it all. So, those are the Zenkai changes. Again, I think this getting rid of this missions is really stupid, but depending on how good these new Zenkai characters are going to be at Zenkai 7, it might be actually optimal, or not optimal, but recommended, I'd say, for new players to actually save for maybe Zenkai 7ing some units, because Zenkai 7 units are like the top of the game, right? Basically. So if you're somebody who can manage to scrape together maybe like 7,000 crystals a month, which is very easy to do, I think in total they give out like close to like a 10 or 11,000 crystals a month on average. I mean, you're going to be able to Zenkai 7 every single unit that comes out if you're free to play. And if you're free to play, you might want to save up for your main team that you main in order to, Zenkai 7 those characters to make your team insanely good, because Zenkai 7 characters, again, they're literally the core of your team. So those are Zenkai changes. Again, there's some good things about it, some bad things about it. Again, I don't understand this, and I think this is a bad change as well. There's no need to remove the missions. I think they should have kept those missions in. But the trade-off of having no missions versus being able to eat way more easily Zenkai 7 units, I think it's not even, but I think if you're smart with how you spend your crystals and you're able to save up, then I think it's fine. And releasing this guy now is just so stupid. It's like we asked for this guy for like a year, or not for a year, for like 7 months to get Zenkai'd, and they wait until like the moment where he's not even going to be good after he's Zenkai. Sure. I mean, he's going to be good. It's just him being red is just not good. Adjustments to obtain Zenkai souls. The Recycle Center exchange shop will be established in mid-July so that's like half a month away. To make it easier to obtain Zenkai souls necessary for Zenkai Awakening soul boost panels. There you can exchange regular Rising Souls and Super Souls for Zenkai Souls, plus there are plans to make it possible to exchange Z medals for Zenkai Souls in the near future. That's really good. This is a really good change. If you're a day one player, or you're someone who's been playing the game for a long time, you guys know how it is with like the regular souls. Like we have mountains and mountains of regular souls just sitting there, and we're never going to be able to use them all. So them coming out with a center where you'll be able to, I guess, swap those out for these Zenkai souls would be helpful for sure, because then we're just like, okay, yeah, there's no need to use the dual coins on Zenkai souls anymore, because that's basically what I've been using my dual coins on exclusively, are the Zenkai souls. So now you can save those dual coins maybe for multi-Z power, erasers, skip tickets, energy, whatever you need. So, and then this is huge. I mean, I'm sitting on a metric ton of Z medals that are just sitting there and never going to be useful for me, because the exchange shop currently is terrible. So if they make it possible to exchange those for Zenkai souls, that's really good. So this is a good change. Like from what I'm seeing, this is a good change. Regarding the 2.9.0 app update, separate from the Zenkai Awakenings updates mentioned above, we will also be planning for the 2.9.0 update to be implemented soon. No specification on the date. From here, we'll introduce a few of the changes. It will include guilds, the speeding up of transition to the guild screen, sure. None of this stuff's actually that important. Speeding up the exchange connection. This could be good. What I want to see them do with the exchange stuff is, like, why do they cap you at, like, 10 equips to buy? Like, why can't you just buy as many equips as you can hold, and then you have to go through that slider, like, multiple times? Just let us buy the full amount at once. Adventures, combining the returning notifications for adventures, adding the option to consecutively run the same job request when one finishes. Okay, that's good. Assistobot, notification will be sent when it's possible to claim, I'm not sure. And then all this stuff is just like whatever. It's just like random stuff. That's fine. Nothing really too major there. Okay, here we go. Regarding dishonest acts in PvP. So, personally, I mean, the Zenkai Awakening portion is obviously the main focus of this newsletter, but for me, this is the most important portion for me. We are aware of the dishonest activity occurring within the rating match rankings. We are also currently looking into technology that could punish users who have broken our terms of service more accurately and are taking measures to remove those who use unfair means in rankings. We are also looking into measures to implement during the 2.9.0 update, so that's this update. Maintenance. We do not condone the use of unauthorized means to rise in the rankings, and we understand that outrage it has brought among players. And that's from us basically spamming their Twitter that we hate how PvP is structured right now. We will continue to try our best and create a fair environment. Aside from dishonest attacks in PvP, there is also the matter of disconnections. Since PvP is performed over P2P connections without going through a game server and is in the hands of connectivity or connection compatibility or mobile connection, it is difficult to address or eliminate players in the rankings based on the reports of lag or disconnection. For this reason, we're looking into optimizing the battle data exchange and matching logistics in a mid to long-term approach. So let's break this down into two parts here. The first part is talking about cheaters. I think they've done a pretty good job in terms of dealing with the cheaters at the end of the season. So, I mean, that's really, honestly, it's been okay. The only problem I have with cheaters is, like, if you're trying to gun for, like, top ranks, sometimes it's hard to tell who's a cheater. I mean, most of the time it's not super hard, but sometimes it's like, okay, I can't tell if this guy's a cheater or not, or he is a cheater, so I'm gonna have to go super hard and maybe try and surpass him because there's always a chance he doesn't get banned, stuff like that. So this is important too. Looking to technology that can punish users who have broken our terms of service more accurately. This is the point that I actually made when I was asked how they could do this. I said the number one thing you can do is make sure that you're able to identify who's cheating, because that's the number one thing. If you can't identify who's cheating, then you can't have a functioning PvP mode. So I said that's the number one priority for me. And then this, to me, I mean, this is more of a problem for us who are like people who are watching this video who are non-Japanese players, because apparently Japanese players just never lag, there's never any issues, and that's just part of their infrastructure. Over in Japan, they have better internet connections, they're all close together geographically, it just works really well, and it's very clear that the game was designed to work well in an area like Japan, where it's just, everything is seamless, working very well. Whereas here, in the United States, like, I'm getting paired up against people who are like in Brazil, or like sometimes even like up like in Alaska. It's like very bad. The geographic location stuff is just, even if you fight somebody who has like a super good connection, but they're in like Brazil, like it's just it's not gonna work. It's just so far away. It's just, no matter what you do, it's always gonna lag. So I'm hoping that this optimizing battle data exchange, whatever that means, is a good change that will address the lag issues, because lag is like one of the biggest problems of PvP right now, other than matchmaking. Matchmaking is a totally different thing that they didn't even talk about here, so hopefully they do address that at some point. But yeah, if they can find a way to reduce or eliminate the lag in PvP, that would be huge. That would be a huge step forward for the game. Multi-Z power. We plan on expanding the multi-Z powers obtainable from events by setting 1 to 3 star and 4 to 6 star upper limits from the next update. Also, the Legends Limited multi-Z powers from the previous announcement are still in development. Okay, well, I mean, this has been like 7 months and they're still in development. What does that mean? Like, how it takes 4 seconds. Literally, you just program the multi-Z power to be used with Legends Limited characters, and you just implement it. How is it still in development? Like, what are you developing? Like, I don't understand this at all. This makes no sense. Like, this makes 0 sense to me. It's been like 6 to 7 months. I think they talked about this back in December. They were like, oh, it's possible we introduce Legends Limited multi-Z power in the future. Well, 6 months later, we're still waiting. Hello? Like, why is this not out yet? And then this part is kind of like a weird, like, upper limit means that you can only use them up until these star levels. So if you're capped at using multi-Z power, let's say up until 3 stars, like after 3 stars you can't use that multi-Z power anymore. Like, why is that good? I'd rather just have multi-Z power you can just use without being limited, right? That's what we want. So this is kind of like a dud. Like, I don't know. They shouldn't have even mentioned this. This is just bad. And finally, the second anniversary events are still ongoing. Soon, an event similar to last year's popular celebratory Sizzling Summer Boot Camp, where you can get new extreme characters before they appear in summons, is set to go live. Now, out of everything mentioned here, I think this maybe, well, we'll put a question mark on this because we're not sure how this is going to work. But for sure, this is a really, really good change. We had this last year with the Ginyu Force EXs, and the Ginyu Force team at the time was, like, honestly one of the best teams in the game, and it's still usable right now. So telling us we're going to get another one of these events is really good. Who will rise to the task to defend Earth? So what this is sort of hinting at, I guess, are like Z fighters, maybe like, I don't know, some extreme Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu, Krillin, stuff like that. That would be cool. And then they all buff each other, maybe like a Super Warrior team. Then maybe you can bring back Baseball Yamcha, who hasn't been back in 15 months. It's time. It's Dimps. It's time to bring Baseball Yamcha back. I think he's been suffering enough where you literally can't even boost his last panel because he hasn't been out since they updated the Soul Boost boards a year ago. Hello. And then they just talk about all this stuff down here. It's like, yeah. There will be upcoming events based on video and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I prefer them to just release these newsletters rather than do videos and stuff. It's just more direct. It's there for you to read when you want to read it. But if they want to do both, that's fine. And then also surveys they talk about, which is good. Yes, please do more surveys. There should be a monthly survey. Just bang out the monthly surveys. Bing, 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 bing. Like every month there should be surveys. It's not that difficult. But that's pretty much it. I don't know. The Zenkai again, this is like super suspect. I don't know why they told us this. This is super suspect. I don't know why they're removing the missions. Zenkai Souls thing, very good change, but it's not like game changing. This is good, again, not game changing. This can be game changing. Like this has potential to be the most game changing thing on this list by far, but I don't know. Like it says mid to long term approach, so like this could take like 7 months to implement. I have no idea. Multi-Z part thing, this was just bad. I don't know why they even talked about this because none of this stuff is good. And then this is probably really good too. So I would say the biggest things to take away from this are that we're getting another free-to-play EX team, which is farmable from an event. So that's very good. This can be very good. And then the Zenkai changes, again, being able to get Zenkai 7 units with much cheaper crystal amounts is going to be good. But there are some aspects of this change that I don't like, so yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys agree with me, disagree with me. I hope they do more of these newsletters, though. We should have one of these like every other month or so. Maybe they could do like one newsletter every other month, and then every other month they do a video and stuff. That would be cool. I'd be okay with that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.